come on inside. Taking that ride to nowhere. We'll take that ride. I'm feeling okay this morning. And you know, we're on the road to paradise. Here we go, here we go. There's a city in my mind. Come along and take that ride, and it's alright, baby, it's alright. And it's very far away, but it's growing day by day, and it's alright, baby, it's alright. Would you like to come along, and you can help me sing this song, and it's alright, baby, it's alright. There's a city in my mind. Come along and take that ride, and it's alright, baby, it's alright. And it's very far away, but it's growing day by day. It's alright, baby, it's alright. They could tell you what to do, but they'll make a fool of you, and it's alright, baby, it's alright.
Hello! Alright, we got two of my favourite people right in the chat. We got the Woopty Woo and the Call Me John. Call Me and I just got off the phone and he's already stalking me. Yay!
Yay!
So, before I forget, if you guys missed music trivia last Wednesday with me and Jessie Jet, holy shit, it was so fucking fun. And my other favorite person, Gretel's here too. This is badass. We did music trivia. Gretel won, actually. And it was so fun. John Seibels from E6 joined, and we just had such a blast. We were drinking and joking around, and it was so fun. So yeah, check it out. It's on my Rockfin. Jessie and I laughed until our cheeks hurt, pretty much. It was amazing. And it was good just to fuck around and be silly. This is all too fucking serious sometimes. And tonight is going to be a little serious. Tonight's kind of going to be like an ACAB special. It didn't start out that way, but ACAB. And
they kind of did it to themselves. The cops kind of did it by themselves by just doing remarkable things this week.
Exactly.
So it's like, oh, okay. Yeah.
Like, y'all gave us the articles. We're not dredging shit up. All this stuff happened in the past few days. So, like that Radiohead song says, you do it to yourself, you do. And that's why it really hurts. So, Andrew, what is up with you?
Whew. You know, just Monday, finished end of the day on Monday. Yeah, not too much. Went for a run before this, and now I'm here. Yeah.
But tell everyone what we were talking about before this. We're gonna meet.
Oh yes. I was like, what? Which one? Because some of the stuff you don't want.
Some of the stuff you can't say.
Yeah. So.
No, I get to meet my buddy in DC, my co-host who I've worked with for like over a year. We finally get to meet in DC, and I'm so excited. I'm gonna it's gonna be one of those hugs that's like slow motion, and I'm like, Andrew, and we just like run towards each other like a field of daisies, like, yay! Well, it might not be like that, but that's kind of how I envision it. It'll be special.
It'll be a good time. It'll be a good time.
Yes. So just keep telling yourself that. Andrew's trying to psych himself up like, am I really flying out to hang out with this weird ass chick? Oh my God. I'm doing it for Medicare for all, people. It's not for joy. It's for Medicare for all, okay?
Dramatic
What's that
music
saying?
playing during the hug. It should be like Chariots of Fire. Dun, 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 dun,
Yeah.
dun,
Or
dun.
dun 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 dun
Or
dun.
Beethoven. Okay, yeah, we could do Beethoven.
Or just like the
Sure.
Hillary laugh, like that like
Ooh.
cackle laugh track.
Talk about a vibe killer. Damn, that was
I know. That was I must be a lot of fun at parties. Yeah.
or the
Shit.
Harris laugh too. Whichever one. They're both the same. You know,
Yeah, they kind of are.
one's just the 2022 version of neoliberalism, and the other is the 2016 version of neoliberalism.
I hope it's just the 2016 version. I hope so. Oh my god.
Time, yeah. Yeah.
I better not get into that because I will cry in the fetal position. I will not be on camera anymore. You'll be like, oh fuck, did she fall? And I'll just be crying in the fetal position. You might hear me sobbing. Just a heads up. But yeah, we have a lot to talk about tonight. A lot of stuff that shocker other people aren't covering. So we pride ourselves in being able to do that because it's important to actually have substance. So Andrew, let's go to the first story.
Yeah, so we'll start, since it's the beginning, we'll start at a little bit of like a, positive solidarity type of note. So here we have, and give me 1 second to bring this up. So I just found this out this morning. Give me 1 second. So SKLD Bloomfield Hill Nursing Home in Detroit did a walkout for $15. These as you know, nursing homes can unfortunately be a very exploitative industry. And so I'm just going to share a video. Crap, this is the wrong one. Give me 1 second. Hold up.
Let's keep in mind that they're fighting for 15 an hour, which means they don't even make that. And I'm sorry, that's a really fucking hard job. I've worked in healthcare for over 10 years. I've taken the complaints of, I've talked to countless people who do that job, and I couldn't do it even if you paid me $25 an hour. I just don't have that kind of ability and patience. And
Sorry, continue. Didn't mean to interrupt.
No. I mean, I was just like, oh my God, they're fighting for breadcrumbs.
Yeah. No, for sure. So I wanted to. This is this woman. I'm blanking on her name right now. I'll get in a second. She's a CNA here at this nursing home, and let's just listen to a 25-second clip of what she has to say.
They're taken care of. We can't even give them 30 minutes of our time. What kind of care is this?
That ain't right.
There are times when residents are out of water and thirsty, but we're so overloaded, we don't have time to go get water. Right now, we had an ice machine that's been down for almost 2 weeks. In 90-degree weather, what kind of care is that? These are the times when residents are very exhausted and we have to be there. They're taken care of. We can't even give them 30 minutes of our time. What kind of care is this?
So just within that clip, they're running out of water. They can't even give elderly people water. They're not even getting paid $15 an hour. Like, this is how we're taking care of our elderly. And this is how we are taking care of the people paying them. And interestingly, or not paying them, taking care of them, this is how we are compensation-wise taking care of the people who are taking care of the elderly. And to do this, I'd rather show people on the ground talking, but Andy Levin, who's a representative in that area, actually showed up as well. So this does seem to be a major thing that is happening in Detroit. But yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where it's like, glad they're stepping out. Glad they were on strike for this day. Not very surprising though. Par for the course.
I just wish they asked for more. I
Right.
mean, they just deserve more. Like, it's better to. I hate the word settle. I never want anyone to settle ever. But it's better to ask for 25 and get 20 than ask for 15 and get 12. Like, because they're like, protests don't get everything they ask for. It doesn't happen. Ideally, it would. It does not happen. No. So always aim higher. Always, always, always.
Yeah, and I mean, I think, and that's and interestingly enough, is beyond what Detroit 15 posted on Twitter, there really is hardly anything about this event, right? Which just shows how our media operates. But it makes me wonder too. So I'm gonna admit I have limited information, but it makes me wonder if they're fighting for 15. How much they are getting. Like, are they getting 10? Like,
oh, wow.
It's that is, and I think when the bar is set so low, it makes people even sometimes lose sight of like what they 20. Like, you can fight for 20, 25, right? Like, it's not impossible for a CNA.
This one is a CNA.
Yeah, for a CNA. Yeah,
that is a degree. Like,
well, yeah, you do need training and schooling to be a CNA. Yes,
right.
Yeah.
So why are those credentials not being compensated for?
Exactly. Yeah. And it's not. I mean, I think in Massachusetts, it's not unheard of for CNAs to make $17 an hour, right? Not great at all. But that's just kind of where, holds the bar. Like, realize, yeah, that's all.
What's the minimum wage in Beantown?
So it's supposed to be $15 by 2023. I think right now it might be $13.75. I'll have to double check, but it's
you know what ours is in Pennsylvania?
Yours is the federal minimum wage.
$7.25.
Yeah.
For 13 years.
Which is absurd because you have these. Oh, right now. Okay, interesting. Sorry, I was wrong. It's $14.25 now per hour, and I believe next year it will go up to 15. So what
is it in Detroit?
That's a good question.
Because that might be what, if they're only asking for 15, I'm guessing maybe they only make like 10 or something. Like, I doubt they make like 13 and they're asking for 15.
Yeah. So Michigan state minimum wage is $9.87 an hour.
Okay, so they're probably making 10.
That would be my guess. Yeah. So,
awful.
Yeah. Especially because they hardly have any time even just to like spend with the residents there. They're so overworked. And so, I mean, it just shows any profession that involves caring for other people just gets shit on every time. And then, of course, that makes people who maybe do want to actually make a difference for others kind of be like, well, I'm not going to get paid much. And I know that finance, I'm not doing great things, but it's a comfortable living, right? And so in the end, you just have a lot of apathetic people because, a lot of people who are doing things that are not passionate about anything, right? Like, nothing against accountants, but like the accountants who I've talked to, just about every time they're like, it pays the bills. That's why I do it. Like, they're not doing it because they have a special affinity for numbers. They're doing it because they know it pays the bills. And so this is.
I probably shouldn't even share this, but this is upsetting. And my grandma, we live in Harrisburg area, and my grandma suffered very bad from dementia until she was 97 years old. And they had one person in her nursing home on staff, and she shared a room with 3 other people. There was 4 people to a room and a little curtain, and they all had different problems. So the one of them was just screaming morning, noon, and night. And my grandma would have accidents, and I'd go say, can somebody please help? I mean, I would have to like beg because they just have no one. And the one day we got a call that she was found on the side of a highway walking down it in nothing but a hospital gown because they didn't even notice her leaving.
Wow.
That's how unstaffed they were. 97 years old, walking down a highway. That was my grandma. And I mean, that's how understaffed these places are. Mm-hmm. But like, we don't really hear about stuff like that. So I'm so, proud of these, these protesters and these people asking for better, because what they do is so fucking hard.
Yeah. And imagine too, like, you have to pay a good amount of money oftentimes to put up, your grandmother, whoever, your elderly family member, your elderly friend, you have to pay a good amount of money to put them up there.
Uh-huh.
And all this money, and they don't even notice when they're leaving.
Yeah.
So someone's getting rich off that.
Oh, yeah.
And it's not the people.
And these people are old, and they're, on your last days, you want someone to spend time with you. Like, just like how, like, my grandma, we lived 2 hours away at the time, and I'd go, and I was like 20 something, and my grandma would be like, oh, I got your 2nd grade pictures today, and I was on the farm picking corn, and you just say, oh, that's nice, and you think about, oh my God, when I leave, nobody's going to talk to her, like nobody. So that's sad too. They just bring the pills, walk away,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So the person who spoke was Cassandra Kemp, CNA and everything. So, yeah. Oh, look, one of the things trending is Blue MAGA. That's a good thing to be trending. Okay. A little bit of hope.
Well, that actually goes into our next story.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh my God, Blue MAGA is trending. I am so excited right now.
I know, that's actually
so
great.
excited. Oh my God.
I just saw it on the side as I was like going through.
That is my kink. Yes. I love it.
All about that Blue MAGA. All right. So, pulling this up.
So these motherfuckers, these DNC motherfuckers, think that it is okay to post this shit. And if you look, can you enlarge, Andrew?
Yeah, I think that's the most I can do. You want me to read it?
Yeah.
This is on the ballot in November. Republicans, ultra MAGA agenda. Ban abortion nationally. End the guarantee of Social Security and Medicare. This tweet has been deleted.
So let's look at this closer, okay? Where it says end Medicare, there's a sign of Medicare for all being ripped. And the sign is from National Nurses United, who hate the Dems who have endorsed Bernie wholeheartedly both times because of his fight for Medicare for all. And these motherfuckers use that like, oh, we're the ones that support it kind of thing. Like they're the ones that are going to be ripping it up. So everybody went off, and then those fuckers deleted it because they're bitches. And you know what? They started saying MAGA, which is so fucking pathetic. And that's why I put in their comments, I'm like, it's funny how you start saying MAGA 6 years later when we've been calling your asses blue MAGA for years. Like, I was, when I saw that picture implying they were the ones that were helping Medicare for all. So obviously someone realized, oh, fuck, we used a bad picture. We need to delete that because it looks like we support Medicare for all. We have screenshots, fuckers.
Oops.
Dude, I was fucking heated. I was like, I cannot even handle the fact that these motherfuckers are implying, like, I almost wondered, like, is it on purpose? Like, sometimes I have to wonder, is it someone working for them who, like, knows the difference between Medicare and Medicare for all and is just gonna, you know, like, how do you not know the fucking difference?
Yeah. I don't know. Or it could have just been somebody who was like, I'm just going to press this button here, you know, who's like secretly just sort of a leftist and undercover. And then they're like, oh, no, we got to take it down, you know.
And now focus groups are like, no! And they're like, oh my God, code red. Oh my God, delete.
Yeah. No, it's great. It's great when those little accidents happen, you know, shows them who they are. All right. I guess it's time to go into all this.
The ACAB portion of our show.
So.
And the lack of a, you know, no pun intended, but trigger warning for some of these are intense.
Yep. Some of them are. I think what I'll do is I'm going to start by talking about the new law in Arizona that got signed. Because this law is very interesting. And it's even funny how, I'm not going to say who, but one of the people who claims to be on the left was trying to say, oh, this is not that big of a deal. But let's read it and let's decide for ourselves.
They said it's not that big of a deal.
Yeah, they were trying to downplay it because, you know, it's one of these people who's, you know, supposedly on the left that's trying to placate to, you know, right wingers. I'm not going to say who, but you could probably guess.
It could be like 20 people, honestly.
Yeah, it could be. It could be. It could be like 20 people. Yeah.
It's not us. I know that much.
So, new Arizona law will make it illegal to record police officers within 8 feet. A person recording police within 8 feet can face a misdemeanor charge after they are warned once to back up. All right, so let's get a little bit more into the weeds of this, right? A bill signed into law in Arizona Wednesday will make it illegal to take videos of police within 8 feet of law enforcement activity. The law, which will go into effect in September, was sponsored by Rep. John Kavanaugh. Sounds like Kavanaugh, but it's not. And signed by Governor Doug Ducey, both Republicans. It is unlawful for a person to knowingly make a video recording of law enforcement activity if the person making the video recording is within 8 feet of where the person knows or reasonably should know that law enforcement activity is occurring. A person recording police within 8 feet can face a misdemeanor charge after they are warned once to back up. The law applies to a situation in which a police officer is questioning a suspicious person, conducting an arrest, issuing a summons, or enforcing the law and handling an emotionally disturbed person who is exhibiting abnormal behavior, right? Because cops, as we know, cops are great when it comes to handling emotionally disturbed people. It makes exceptions for police activity on private. This is my favorite. It makes exceptions for police activity on private property in which the person who is recording is authorized to be on the property, but specified that an officer can order the person recording to leave the area if the law enforcement officer determines that the person is interfering in the law enforcement activity. Incredibly vague. Okay. The law also says that a person who is the subject of police activity can record as long as they're not being handcuffed, searched, or subjugated to a field sobriety test. And people in a vehicle that has been stopped by police can record if the occupants are not interfering with lawful police actions. Again, pretty broad, gives them a lot of leeway to do whatever they want, as usual. The National Press Photographers Association in February wrote a letter denouncing the bill, saying it was unconstitutional. At the time, the bill proposed people couldn't take videos of police from 15 feet away or less. So originally, it was 15 feet. On your iPhone, right? Like, iPhones, they've gotten better, but they're not the best cameras. It's just...
No, and if you zoom, they go blurry sometimes and stuff.
Yeah.
I immediately thought of George Floyd. Immediately. Like, you're saying that would have been inadmissible. That's what you're saying. You're saying that when Eric Garner was, murdered by the police, that man who took the footage was like right there.
Yeah.
Like, they want you to be intimidated to film what they are doing that is wrong and fucked up. And the more laws they put like this in place, the more it breeds other laws and extensions and things like that. Like, this passes now, and people might say, oh, it's only 8 feet. Then it will be 15. Then it will be 20. Then it'll be 25. The whole point of doing bills like this is to get interest. Now the people who voted for this and their supporters are like, yeah, that's a good bill. And now they have that conversation going. And that's how it's going to be expanded. It happens all the time.
Yeah. And so, as this did get pushed back. We're extremely concerned that this language violates not only the free speech and press clause of the First Amendment, but also runs counter to the clearly established right to photograph and record officers performing their official duties in the public space, said the letter signed by the Associated Press, the New York Times Company, and other organizations. We believe that requiring the permission of a law enforcement officer and setting a minimum distance of 15 feet in between the law enforcement officer and the person recording would not survive a constitutional challenge is completely unworkable in situations. So that's probably why they put it down to 8. Now, their point of view from how they say it, Kavanaugh, one of the representatives, he said he introduced the bill for safety reasons, right? Getting very close to police officers in tense situations is a dangerous practice that can end in tragedy. He also said he believes the law won't affect the integrity of recordings taken of a police. A video taken from 8 feet away probably takes in the entire scene, providing more information and greater context. So here he is trying to say, we're helping you, right? Just be further away, and you'll get more of it as on camera.
Yeah, there might be people completely blocking you, but it's for your safety.
Right. Yeah. Usually when you're that far, there's usually like people who step in, like,
they stand in front of you
and say, nope, back up, right? There's always, because how many times also have you seen whenever there's a cop that comes, right, to address a situation, right, even if it's just between 1 or 2 people, there's like 8 cops.
Oh, yeah.
Right? And so, yeah, you don't think 3 or 4 of those cops are going to be like, oh, no, back up. We have to address this little argument going on between two people that needs all 8 of our attention. Yeah. So.
And then, this goes in perfectly to one of our next stories where a guy was filming himself being approached by police, and it almost got him killed.
Mm-hmm. And so, and I think,
and that it was not the same city, just to clarify.
Yes, this is another incident that happened. Where is this one? Give me 1 second. There's also the SWAT team one. Let me show the SWAT team story, and then I'm gonna try and pull up the other one too. Does that sound good?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, cool. Just to save some time. So this is kind of disturbing. So just to let everybody know, content warning. All right. So Albuquerque SWAT team raids house looking for an alleged robbery suspect, using nuisance flashbangs to get the suspect out, ignited and engulfed the home in flames. After the fire, police find the body of a 14-year-old boy. He was not the suspect. So we're just going to play this video here.
Julie, police detectives and fire investigators have been out here at the scene all day long, collecting evidence, trying to figure out how this SWAT standoff turned deadly. I'm told that they're packing up right now and about to clear the scene any moment. Take a look at this, though. We want to show you video from Chopper 4. It was over the scene earlier, showing you the damage this fire did to the home. We spoke with a woman whose sister and her family lived there. They are now homeless. She says the people involved in the SWAT standoff were not related to her family, and they did not live there, but rather they were acquaintances of her nephew who stopped by to pick up a bike. Now she's questioning how police and that SWAT team handled the situation that, of course, ended with a fire and one person dead.
They sent negotiators to come and negotiate them out. You're talking about young black men. They were not going to come out. They didn't send a family member. They didn't send a friend. They didn't send a chapel. They didn't send a pastor. They didn't send an elder. They didn't send someone to make them comfortable to come out.
Now, the family's also blaming police for starting this fire, saying it was started by one of their flashbang grenades or smoke bombs that was thrown into the house. As Julie just mentioned this afternoon during that news conference, the police chief said that they are investigating if one of those munitions that officers threw into the home started this fire. But right now, the cause is still under investigation. Live in Southeast Albuquerque, Kai Porter.
Okay, so what else could have started the fire? They start their own fire and kill their 14-year-old nephew? Is that the other option? And what the flying fuck why are they at a place where he does not live, he has never lived, he is not directly related to? Why are they even at that house? They literally murdered a 14-year-old boy and burned his house down. And they weren't even involved. Will there be ramifications? Doubt it.
I don't think so.
But you know what? She brought up a really great point. Why are you going to young black men and saying, come out? Why the fuck would they come out? You have weapons drawn. You are known murderers. She brought up a great point. Why don't police bring a chaplain, an elder, something like that, and try to explain, we need you to come out to ask you a few questions, but they're fucking dropping fire bombs and shit. That's why these tragedies keep happening.
Yep. I don't really have too much to add. It's refund the police.
Refund the police?
I think maybe you meant to say defund the police. Refund the police would be, yeah. I don't know. Bring the police back. Yeah. Defund the police. Yes.
I was like, I'm trying to think about that. I don't really understand.
Right. I was like, that's a new slogan. I'm open to listening and learning what that is. Yeah. So here's the clip now of what happened in Virginia. The Fairfax Police Department in Virginia. Just for a little of context as to why these cops were there. So they were called to an IHOP in Falls Church over report that kids had threatened a hostess there with a gun. So this is why the cops are there in the first place. And let me pull up this stream.
And this video is intense. So
yes. So content warning for sure. Let me bring up all right, cool. All right.
Yo, what the fuck, bro? Nigga, too fast, bro. Too fast, bro. Why you pointing the gun on me? What weapon, huh? Bro, you look dumb, bro.
Get on the ground!
Bro, what the
Get
fuck?
on the ground!
Yo.
I'd also like to point out that this person was well beyond 8 feet recording the cops.
Well beyond. And get on the ground because of what? Because he's holding a cell phone? Like, first of all, that guy has balls of steel because he's just like, fuck you, like.
What am I doing? For what?
I was just like, holy shit, man. I'm kind of upset it cuts off there because I want to make sure he's okay.
Yeah.
Like, I have no idea who shot this video. And I just want to, like, I hope somebody can identify him and just, make sure it was okay. But, yeah, get down on the ground. Get down on the ground! Like, he's yelling like he's, like, a fucking criminal. So, yes, when people try to make laws like we just went over, that is a big fucking deal.
And just point out, the cop was a woman and still acted like a cop, right? Yep. So this whole, we just need more representation when it comes to no, that does shit. That's not the issue. Like,
identity politics are just that. Like, as a woman, I don't give a flying fuck if a woman is being an asshole in a cop uniform. They're still a fucking asshole.
Yeah. So
what's that saying?
They need to say, you need to stay 8 feet away, 8 feet away from me so I can record you legally. That's actually a good tactic. Yeah, be like, don't come up to me. Don't come up to me. 8 feet. 8 feet.
Didn't you read the article today, bro? Didn't you fucking read it? Back up, dude.
Back up. There was Miguel said also before, what if you're not recording but live streaming? Is that a loophole?
That's a very good point. I mean, semantics. You could be like, I'm not recording.
Yeah.
And it is safer to live stream because there are tangibles that your phone breaks, the recording's done, things like that. If you live stream, at least a few people are going to see it. That's a really good point.
So everyone get up, get your channel set up, and just go out and
everybody
live
practice
stream
how
shit.
to live stream on Twitter.
Yeah. We need as many people as possible recording things on the ground because our media
I'll tell you what,
system's
I did that once, and it was almost 4 years ago. And I was at the Harrisburg train station, and I was by myself. It was 10 at night. It's dark. Usually I don't care. I'm from Philly. I don't give a shit. But this guy came up to me, and he was so obviously a drug addict. So obviously. Like, he had track marks on his arms and stuff like that. And he came up to me so close, and he was up in my face, and he's like, "You're pretty. What's your name?" And I was like shaking. And I pulled out my phone, and I'm like, "It's Chloe." And he's like, "Chloe, that you look like a Chloe." And I'm sitting on my phone, I'm like this, and I'm typing. I'm literally going live on Facebook. And he didn't even notice because he was so fucking high. And I'm going like this with the camera, and I'm typing in white dude, blue backpack, green shirt. Like, I'm literally typing this in as he's standing there, like, right next to me. Because I'm like, if anything happens, here he is. Here's his description, blah, blah, blah. Well, then a girl on Facebook saw my post, and she came over to the train station and picked me up. She said, "Joy, I'm from Facebook. You may not recognize me, but I'm so-and-so. Look me up." I did. I was like, "Thank you." I got in the car. She brought me home. So what happened? Thankfully, he just scared the living shit out of me. But if I wouldn't have posted it on Facebook, who knows? I don't know. So that's, yeah, going live can, I don't know, but he had a fucking backpack, and I was just like, we were the only two people in the train station. Like, the only two. It was so fucking scary. So, yeah, I'm glad I did that, and I'm glad that girl picked my ass up.
Yeah.
What?
No, that's that's wild.
It's true.
Yeah.
I mean,
It is.
I alarmed a couple hundred people in the process,
Yeah.
and I kept, I'm home. I swear, I promise I'm not. Like, I really am home. Like, I'm not lying. He's not telling me to say this, like, but who knows what could happen.
Yeah, for sure. So, what is next?
More ACAB.
More ACAB. Do we have any more ACAB?
There's always more ACAB.
There's always more ACAB. Anyone in the comments got anything else? Any other police misconduct, police abuse happening?
I posted one today on Twitter, and it was a cop in Philly, and he had, Andrew, do you want to pull up my Twitter? We can read from it. Better than me explaining it. I posted it a couple hours ago. It's a cop whose son was killed by other cops.
Okay, let me pull up your Twitter, and then we'll go from there. All right, your stream is up here. New video. With Duchess. Duchess endorses March for Medicare for All.
Yes, she sure did.
Yes.
Oh, here it goes. Here, I'll send it in the DM.
Okay.
I don't know if it's because I'm a Philly girl, but like this, it reminds me so much of like when like people are Christian and someone murders their family member, and like the next day they're like, "I forgive them. It's in God's plan." this is what it kind of reminds me of. The cop's kid was murdered by other cops.
Okay, I got some block here. Hold on, need to get out of this thing. Which show recorded a song with John Rich? The Five, Tucker Carlson, Tonight, Fox, and Friends. That's a fucking trivia thing. I guess they're asking me to test my knowledge. Anyone know? I hope not.
Wait, to get to the article?
Yeah, it was like a pop-up before to get on the Fox, and it asked like
what?
Which. Yeah, so
that's fucking weird.
You can't access anything anymore without pop-ups.
That is fucking weird.
Yeah. All right. Philadelphia cop speaks out after son's murder, rejects anti-police rhetoric. We're just like you. A 17-year-old Philadelphia police veteran whose son was murdered spoke on Monday on the Faulkner Focus about her son's life, sending a strong message about anti-cop sentiment in the United States and the city's crime crisis. We have feelings, we have families, we have babies, we have children. We're just like you. Yeah, so did the Reichstag, but okay. Well, we put on a uniform every day to go to work. Ferguson said that she is thankful to be a police officer and said nobody on the police force is slipping away until they get justice for her son. And that's the article.
So what you're saying is you want justice for your son, but you're also making excuses for the cops that murdered him at 17 years old. You can play the video.
Okay.
I live in East Boston, and I am the mother of 5 children.
A Philadelphia police officer on the job for 17 years is dealing with the crime crisis in the most personal way today. 23-year-old Hiram Hill Jr. died after being shot 9 times in what police say they believe was a shooting that stemmed from a robbery. That Philadelphia police officer started opening up about her son, who worked as a mentor for troubled teenagers. He was expecting a daughter, just shy of getting his bachelor's degree in college. Hiram's mom, Philadelphia police officer Edwina Ferguson, is in focus now. I'm so sorry for your loss. And I want you to know that on this program, we look at the job that you do. And I watched a video. I saw you talking to a crowd of people saying, let us do our jobs. Let the homicide unit do its jobs and investigation. I want you to know that on this program, we support you. I'm so sorry this has happened. Tell me just a little bit about your son. We want to know him.
Hiram was amazing. He was the light of my life. Raising a Black man in Philadelphia is hard because my mother used to say doing the wrong thing is so easy to do. Doing the right thing is hard. But he always tried to do the right thing. My son, I just appreciate him so much, the respect that he had for me. It's hard to find a 24-year-old that doesn't have a tattoo. But I begged him. I told him, Hiram, don't get any tattoos. Don't mess your body up. And my son died doing what his mother asked him to do. He didn't have one. Just little things like that I think of, you know. His job in Delaware was an hour and a half away from where we live. He worked 12-hour shifts. And he took that drive to work for his mother. Amen. Not for him, for his mother. I mean, I remember I texted him when he first got the job. I'm proud of you. I texted his phone the other day when he was going.
You can stop it here. I just wanted people to hear, like, first of all, I don't know what having tattoos has to do with anything. That was pretty fucking random. But anyway, so I cannot, and this is totally conjecture, I've never met the young man, but how do you think someone would feel if their parent was a cop and they were murdered by a cop, and then their parent was like, we're all the same. We're just like you. We make mistakes. That's blows my mind, honestly. And I'm not trying to disrespect the mother because she's in a lot of pain, but I don't understand how you can be that forgiving and that, try to rationalize it like that. I mean, yeah, we are all human, and yeah, we do make mistakes, but somebody fucking murdered your son. Murdered. And it's a department you work for. So I guess I just like.
Well, a robber murdered her son, right?
That's not what was implied in the.
It's an interesting article because, all right, so in the article itself, they say, all right, let's see, so you're saying an officer killed her son.
That's what I read 2 articles, and that's what they both said.
Okay.
But, in any case, she's telling people to stop with the anti-police, rhetoric.
It's weird to kind of bring that into the whole thing after you lose your son. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that would be the least of my concerns, because people who are anti-police and saying things like that are saying so to stick up for people like her son. We're saying it because we're sick of them killing victims, so it's not just like we hate cops and it's like, for no basis. It's because of shit like, fucking George Floyd and the million other, not million, but the tons of other people we hear about every fucking day.
Yeah. So it says in the article, Ferguson said she is thankful to be a police officer and said nobody on the police force is sleeping until they get justice for her son to find the murderer. And then they talk about not liking, and then they say people not liking cops, right? 23-year-old Hiram Hill Jr. was killed after being shot 9 times in a murder that police believe stemmed from a robbery.
Oh, okay.
So
that's different than what the other one said, but this is Fox, I think, right?
Yeah, this is from Fox, so I don't know what the other one said, but yeah, I mean, it's fair to say that this article is very much like a let's give positive vibes for police because
even though
someone died, and they're here to kind of make sure that there's justice for your son, even though we don't know who the robbery is, and police hardly ever solve any crimes. That's just a fact. Like, look at the statistics. They hardly solve anything. Like, we don't live in a law and order world where they, So.
Oh my God. This is exhausting. Anything else you want to touch on?
Not really. I think, while all this stuff is going on, we have the most ridiculous Twitter fights happening. And a bunch of people who claim to be on the left casually just being transphobic all of a sudden because that gets clicks, which is fucked up.
Thankfully, I'm not sure what you're referring to. Thankfully.
Yeah. I mean, who needs the right wing when we have leftists to just, be their mouthpieces for them, but or supposed leftists. But yeah. So that's really kind of my story. But yeah, I guess we'll start doing our plugs now. Check
You can go
out.
first.
Yeah, sounds good. I'll be quick. So yesterday, yes, aggravated aggressive. We must stand with our LGBTQ allies now. Absolutely. And I think we need to be even more vocal, because there's more and more people who claim to be on the leftist our side who are using right-wing talking points to denigrate the LGBTQ community, and I find it pretty disgusting. I find
Like
it very
Tulsi people.
yeah. And it's clear these people are just using it for clicks, and they're trying to placate to a certain group. But yeah, that's what I have to say about that. Anyway, on channel People's Voice Network, check out, we did an interview actually with Matthew, who ran on the Green Party, or tried to get on the ballot in the Green Party in North Carolina. And of course, the Democrats did not let him get on the ballot because some of the signatures, they found some irregularities. So check out that interview, because I think that just shows more and more how the Dems are always willing to fight people to their left harder than they are going to fight the Republican Party, who is day by day taking away your rights under a Democratic administration. Funny how that works. So check that out, People's Voice Network. And yeah, take it away, Joy.
So here's a funny story. Coinkydink. I have not had a candidate in 14 months, but I am having Matthew Ho on Wednesday, because I am so, like, this is something that, I'm in Pennsylvania. They took the Greens off our ballot too. So this isn't me having him as a candidate. This is me having him exposing
exactly
these motherfuckers, because there's a video going around on Twitter. I'm not sure if you guys saw it, but there's a gentleman who films a girl walking up to his house in his driveway saying, "We have your signature that you wanted the Greens to be on the ballot, and the Democratic Party is asking you to remove it," and stuff. And they're literally going house to house trying to tell people who wanted Greens on the ballot to remove their signatures. Literally, it's on video. Absurd. So I was like, yeah, I need to have you. This is fucking insane. So
and
I'm breaking my rule.
And yeah, and I think too, and that's how we did it. It's more of to expose the corruption that happened to keep him off the ballot, right? And I think that's always important, because if we want to end this duopoly in one way or another, we need to also show the barriers of getting multiple parties that are a threat to the duopoly, right? And I think in addition to that, I mean, Matthew Ho literally got a text from someone who said they were part of the DSNC, that's late, saying, "Hey, you want to remove your signature from your own petition to get you on the ballot?" I mean, you can't make this shit up. So, yeah.
So people who talk about third parties all the time, you need to step it up, and you need to educate people. If that's going to happen, every single state has different rules, and every single state needs help getting people on the ballot. It takes donations. It takes signatures. It takes organizing. It is not just they run. That is not how it works at all. I've interviewed over 200 candidates. Every state is different, and every single state getting a third party on the ballot takes work. So it's not enough to just be like, yay, vote third party. Everyone needs to step up and help third parties even get on a ballot, or else there's nothing to vote for.
Yeah.
So I'll be talking to Matthew on Wednesday. I'm looking forward to that. And I am going on a podcast on Friday. Her name is Rena. She writes for Healthline, which is a newsletter I've read for a couple of years about health stories. It's very cool. So we're going to be talking about Medicare for All. And speaking of which, 14 days, people. Whew, we are down to the wire. So Dems are always worse. Yeah, girl. Yep.
Oh, sorry. I thought I unmuted, but yeah, you got it.
Well, shout out to my girl who's in the comments. That's a nice surprise. And everybody follow her and stand with her in solidarity. Because
I was gonna say, I didn't want to, but yeah. Wow. Okay.
No, follow her
Thanks
on
for
Twitter and stand with her in solidarity. And speaking of third parties, look, we either stand with people or we stand with parties. People criticize the Dems and say, you know, there's party alliance. It should be about people. Well, that goes for MPP too. Okay. So don't let your want for a third party supersede supporting what is right. And follow and stand by our girl, because she's the one that needs our support. So now I forgot what I was saying. Oh, 14 days. And for all, we are doing a week of action. We are all going Wednesday, the 27th. The march is the 30th, but we will be there for almost a week doing other disruptive actions and protests and civil disobedience and mutual aid. So we have a lot of things planned. We are still short from the donations from our fundraiser. We still need donations for our ASL interpreters and the mutual aid we're doing, which is making bag lunches and feminine products and socks. We're going to be handing them out to the unhoused in DC. So anything you can give, andforall.org. Also, I'm going to request you guys reach out to your favorite streamers, because this year, indie media as a whole has been silent as fuck on us, because a lot of shows have gone to no substance and only talking about other streamers. And
it's getting worse and worse. I hate it.
To hold them accountable and to say, look, you say you support Medicare for All. You say you support direct action. Where are you? Why aren't you interviewing them? Why aren't you sharing their posts? Why aren't you quote tweeting them? Where are you? Because I'm emailing these people, I'm DMing these people, they're seeing the messages, they're not getting back to me. And some of them are people who even spoke at our marches last year. So I need you guys to hold them accountable, because every single person with a platform should be using it to help volunteers like us who are fighting tooth and nail for something they say they believe in. So I need your help, guys, to reach out. And then, you know what? If they don't join, that's on them. That says a lot. And I will call them out every time they say, oh, we need to get in the streets, when they're silent. So please smash the like button and follow. Thank you guys so much for watching. I love you guys as always. Join me Wednesday night and give Andrew and his channel a follow as well.
Yeah, shout out to Miguel, who just followed me on Twitter. Just followed you back, Miguel H. I see you in the comments. I see you on Twitter. Also, cool. All right. Peace out and see you See you next time.
Thanks, guys.